Hey, School Bus here. So, it's time for another one of our tank chats. So, I have my coffee. Depending on what time of day it is for you, grab your beer, your wine, your Courvoisier. I don't care. But let's talk a little bit here about something that caught me a bit by surprise. And if you're honest with yourself, I think it's going to surprise you as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go out to the WattLife site, or wattlife.com to be very specific, and I'm going to look at the NA server. What we will then do is scroll down on the page to where we have the different tanks and the statistics on those. We're going to look at tier 10, at least to start out here. We're going to do victories. We're going to descending sort on win rate. Now, before you do anything else, I want you to grab a piece of paper and write down what you think are the top 3 tanks for win rate, excluding any sort of premium vehicle, reward vehicle. You don't really have premium tanks necessarily at tier 10, but the reward vehicles, throw those out. We don't care about those. Just look at the legitimate tier 10 tanks. Write down what you think are the top 3 for win rate. You think maybe Russian tanks? You think what might be in there? I'll give you a moment. I'm going to take a drink of coffee. Okay, you've done your estimation. Now let's take a look here. So all these ones with stars, that means they're some sort of a special vehicle. I don't care about those. All right, the first one we come to here, the Object 268 version 4. Should have guessed. I think that 54% that it's at right now, I believe that is quite a bit lower than what it used to be. I believe that used to be quite a bit higher. But look at what the next one is. So it actually is up here within some of those reward vehicles. The Panhard EBR 105. Yeah, I went and checked this out the other day after I felt like I was doing some ranked battles, and I was in my AMX 13105 and just got absolutely destroyed by one of these in several different ways, but mostly it was the combat effectiveness. He would just come through and you could tell he was doing the locking on, and it's a slightly trained monkey can do it, and click, and would lock on and would just nail me with every shot he tried. And he's moving so fast that there was very little I could do to return fire on it. So I was a little frustrated. I came out here, I'm like, you know what, I wonder if those things are kind of OP, and are they actually seeing a different win rate? And well, the proof's in the pudding. Now what I didn't do, and now this is going to be dangerous, I'm going to go look at this live. Let's go look at tier 9. Well, I can definitely I can agree with that. I don't know if it's necessarily OP, but for those of us that have the pleasure of driving them, the AMX M4 MLE 51 is a very, very effective heavy tank. I think part of the problem is that it doesn't get played enough. I mean, when you look at some of these other tanks here, 31,000 players versus like the Skoda T50 is 105,000, 65,000 on the Object 705. So that I think is part of it, is people don't know that, oh yeah, the front of the thing is virtually impenetrable. But even though it is not at the top of the list, still within the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of regular tanks, the Panhard EBR 90 is there. And you don't really see anything of any of the other light tanks. There's the lightweight down here, probably 20 or so, at a 50.8% win rate versus the Panhard is a 52%. Now let's go to tier 8. What I'm thinking is it's going to roll off. We're going to see less prevalence of those. Oh yeah, all of the premium tanks. Yeah, no pay to win my ass. Here we go. So the VK 101P, if I didn't miss any, that's actually the top one, which really does surprise me. Hey Goose, the tank that you play really well in, turns out everybody does. The Emil 1, I did well in the Emil 1. So it's at 51%. Blah, blah, blah. Back into premiums. What is the LHMTV? You got me. Hasn't been played much. The AT-15. Now I'm just scrolling fast here. I'm looking for... I'm going to cheat now. I can't find the wheeled tank. Let's just look at light tanks. Oh, there's the Panhard Premium. The Even 90 actually has a better win rate at 52.53 or 52.36 versus the Panhard Premium is 52.07. But we don't see the Lynx very high on the list. The Lynx is at 50%. So I had planned to only go so far as the probably tier 7, maybe tier 8 in the wheeled before I felt like I had an unfair advantage. And I think that holds true. The Hotchkiss EBR, which I'm playing right now, and it by no means feels OP. But notice there are light tanks. Several of them, most of them, are premium. But even the LTG has better win rate than it. The Hotchkiss looks to be pretty even with the Lynx. I lost your... Oh, there we go. Yeah, actually, the Hotchkiss has slightly better win rate than the Lynx. But then when we go to tier 9, now the Panhard jumps out, and it's up at 52%. And then we go to tier 10, and the Panhard EBR is at 52.74. So, anyway, sorry to ramble on there, but this is why I personally just can't with good conscience continue to move on through that tech tree. I'm pretty good in light tanks, and I really feel I would feel bad taking advantage of that situation, at least for now. Maybe with a little bit more scope creep. If some Russian tanks start to come in here above the win rate of the Panhard, maybe then I'd do something. I'd be curious if they implemented the things that four tankers had talked about, of get rid of the funky auto aim and nerf the firing statistics on the move. I think that would probably sort this out a little bit. So anyway, this has been another school bus coffee chat, or whatever name I end up putting on this. But I like doing these from time to time, at least when I have something to actually talk about. So, with no further ado, we will conclude for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll catch you next time. School Bus out.